Hello and welcome to the Skyward Gradebook tutorial for 3rd grade categories. When you access your account from this screen, you're going to select one of the subjects that you wish to change your category for. For demo purposes, I'm going to be clicking on the homeroom screen where we've loaded up a class that is set up as a writing. So from this spot, you will notice that now you have across the top in your tabs, you now have a tab that says Categories. Click that one time. Here you're going to see a description of all the optional categories that you can change percentages to weight your subject the way that you would like. So on the right hand side, I'm going to click Edit Categories for all skills once, and I will have this new screen that will come up. Here I'm going to change on the top left, I'm going to change this to all skills with categories. You can see that in category grading, and it says how to weight. So here with the weighting, use category weighting or use total points. Currently it's at total points. This is what we want to change. So we're going to click that one time, and you'll see that now there has been a change at the bottom to your descriptions. So from this screen is where you will make your decision. Okay, I would like assessments to be worth 20% of my student's overall grade. So I'll click in the modified percent box here, and I can delete that information, and I'm going to change that to 20. If I wish their homework to be worth 10% of their overall grade, I can change that. And if I want their classwork to be worth 70%, these are just for examples to show you how it will change. I can change that in this box, and you'll notice at the top that the total weight is still at 30%, but when I click away, it now has changed to 100. Be sure that you have changed your total weight for the class will be at 100%. So now I'm fine, and I like the way that this looks. I want my test to be worth 20, my classwork to be worth 70, and the homework to be worth 10. Not that these are going to be how I'd use or how you will, just for demo purposes. So I'm going to save this work, click once, and now at this screen I'm going to see that my categories have all been changed and they're weighted appropriately. One more thing, I'm going to go back to check that. If you don't want all these other category descriptions to show up, I can uncheck those wherever I have the 0%, so that when I enter in my events, I do not have to see those at all. So I'm going to change those, make sure I click Save, and now you can see they're gone. And I just have the categories that I want to work with. So let's go and enter an event. I'm going to click my back button, and I will go to my add event. I'm going to do the same thing as if I would enter an assignment before that was in the other tutorials. And from this screen, you're going to see that that category button is now present. So that wasn't available before in the prior tutorials that you would have seen. But since I have my category and I use my drop-down menu, when I get ready to create this event or an assignment to enter, now I'm going to say, okay, I had homework. That's going to be worth 10% of their grade. It was page 5. I'll enter that description. I'm going to leave my dates, and that assignment was worth 100 points. So I'll make sure that my 100 points are there. And if by chance these two buttons are not highlighted, we'll be working on making sure that's set up as a default, but you will need to make sure that you have that posted to your family access so that parents are able to view the students' work and their grades that you are posting for them. Okay, so here, if you wish to also show your score as a percent, you can, or if you want it to be shown as a grade mark, which is your A, B, C, or N, it's up to you. If it's done as a grade mark, you still can enter it in as max points or as percentages. It's just what the view will look like when you're seeing your scoring entry at the end. So I'll show you what the percents look like here. I'm going to save and score. So I can enter a few grades here. So this score, the student, I'm going to give them 100 and then a 90, and just enter in a few grades here so that you can see that. And you can see my scores on one side, and then my percentages are on the other. I can click Save button once. And now I can see my overall writing grade is on this side. I have that page 5, and I have it set up in a category with the homework, so 10% of their grade will be worth whatever I've entered. So let's go back and enter another event and just see how that's going to look. So this time I want to make it worth on classwork, and this is going to be fun activity. It was worth 100 points. I am sorry, posted it to my family access because once I've done it once, it should remember. I'm going to keep it as my percent. And now I want to save and score. So this student, I'm going to have 60 and 100 and 85 and 89, and I'll do 100% here. I'll save this work. And now I'm going to take a look. Now, we had 100% and a 60, and you can see they're getting an N. Where that calculation came in, if you had 100 and a 60, it might not be an N, but because that 60% was worth 70% of their grade, you can see how Skyward is working. So the second one was a 90 and 100, and that was 100% of their grade. They're definitely getting the A, or excuse me, 100% at 70% of their grade. So they had 85 and 98, 89 and 95, and then 100. So on this side, you'll see where the letter grades are, but they are being calculated by the percentages that you would have entered here. Now, if you're not planning on using categories to weight your students' work as a subject, you will not have to do anything at this point. All you would need to do is to keep your categories. I'll take you back to that screen and edit categories. You would still keep yours as you use total points in your weighting, and that would stay clicked. You would click that one time, but right now it's already set up to use your total points in that manner. So from here, if you're planning on using categories, the process that I just walked you through is what you would use. If you're not planning on using your categories with weights, then you would have them kept like your total points. You wouldn't have to do anything different, but just be aware that you are going to still see that category button that is shown in your events. I'll take you back there so you can see it. When you go back to your events and you are adding in information, that is still going to be shown because other people that will be in your building are using it, and we cannot isolate it per teacher to do it that way. So your categories will still show up here, but you will not see any of the percentages next to those descriptions, and that will be fine. You will just have everything weighted as the same in your overall writing grade. I hope that helps, and that concludes the tutorial for 3rd grade categories and weighting.